Good morning. So we actually are just trading into a 15-minute for value gap. Not really. And time. Okay, yesterday's market was whole day sideways. So this was the morning and we ended up here, so we actually had the whole day sideways. Yeah, if anybody just went online and took this, that was actually a valid trade at 15 minutes. Entry. Back to the highs. I'm gonna jump into this one with a half hour. Sound? Should be sound. Can you hear me? So this was that 15 minutes, so we're still halfway in that 15 minutes. I'm gonna take this, stop at that low and continue back to the highs. So 5 more minutes for the hour range. So if anybody asks why I took this, that was just a nice bullish reaction, a retracement, and we came online and actually that was looking good. I just entered. Don't overthink it. Okay, we just came online, so we tapped the 15 minute and I was looking, okay, we are still halfway this 15 minutes, so not chasing it, it's actually still in that value gap right here. So if we would have entered the first time, we would have been entered right here. If that was a stop, we should have been patient for all this move down. So after that tap 4 hour from yesterday actually and a retracement, I said that 200 level would be a nice indication. We had a 201. Oh, look, we did have a second tap on MNQ. So this was MNQ's tap then, this one did not tap, that one did, and then we actually stayed sideways, and now we're actually continuing the move of the reaction actually of this 4 hour gap. Let's see how we can take this. So this would be TP1 right here. This is how I actually did it, but I'm gonna hold a bit longer. If it comes back, I'll just take the stop at my entry, but I want to see if we can take this higher. If you want to take some profits off, it's okay. If anybody jumped in with it with me, it was rather quick. So this is normally, if that retracement comes, this is TP1. But because of this stronger move before, I want to see how far we can take this up. That would be 0.8. I believe we will take out these highs right here. So orb is formed. Now we got a 13-point range. Yeah, I'm opening chat right now, just a second. I was actually, I'm not watching it. Good morning, Charles, Anthony, Nicholas, Beaumont, Emily, if I haven't said that already. So if pre-orb goes to the upside, that would look very nice. We got 2.5 more minutes. Let's see if we have a breach for the orb to the upside. Here's our mascot again. So I figured out that I did something not 100% correct on WOP when I put everything online, so I had to adjust some stuff. Hope I get it fixed today. I didn't even notice that was also from an hourly that we actually had that reaction. So yeah, this looks actually even better now. We had a 15 minute, an hourly reaction off of it, probably a 30 minute too, yeah. So we had no breach the previous 5 minutes. Again, around the 2 minutes until we see if we have a breach. If we go to the upside, we will enter this, of course. Or Anisha will enter it. In the meantime, while I'm pausing, yeah, if this 2 minutes close, we're gonna enter this. I'll be right back. So no close yet. Now that we took out our high, I do prefer that we continue in that direction. I'm just gonna drag this one up with me. Let's see how far we can actually take this. Like I said, it's all still strong, so we just came in just a small gap right here. Now I do want to see us continue, so this would be Asia high. Let's see if once we tap that, what happens. If we don't have any reaction off of it, we can take this a lot higher. Especially after a few days of sideways movement, and we taken out lows. So this is actually that continuation of that retest. So if we would have entered here, we should actually take our profits on the highs, or at least at this high. That would be exactly the same trade then, but in a different time frame. So we took it on a 15-minute right here, but we can actually aim for that same target of that 4 hour. So it's definitely around the 2 hour. Let's see if we can even go surpass that. So 1 minute 40. So we have that close. And let's take a look if we have news any day today. So the only news that we have is around 11:30, so no news. That's actually a tab, so I'm gonna add to this trade. Not too much, but just enough. Thanks for the likes, everybody. You help the channel grow. If orb would now close to the upside, that would be a very beautiful movement, because then it closed actually all the gaps off too for that continuation. So I hope all of you took this. So we have 2 more minutes. I'll see if we have a breach to the upside now. So 1:12. Now I do want to see that continuation from here on. So I'll explain also what I see so that you can read it for yourself. So we had a nice continuation move. We had a bit of a retracement, what is very normal. So this is why we entered. We actually entered on this candle when it went up already again. So we wait for a 15-minute confirmation of retest. So that was actually pretty low when we had the entry. Then now we had a bit of a continuation. We had again a 15-minute created, and now we had that tap. So I want to see here that continuation movement, because we had now 2 times a 15-minute created, and after that we should continue in the same direction. There's no much point now for coming back down, especially after we actually tapped all the 5-minute candles too. So we got about 13 seconds until that close, and that would be orb to the upside or pre-orb to the upside actually. That was a close, so that's a long. anybody that plays trades pre-orb. That was a long. So it depends on which one you took. If you just took that last one right here, you should be up already an hour. So we will take at least Asia high, and I want to see, do we push through it, yes or no? But like I said, if we watch this 4-hour movement right here, this should be our target actually. So that would be 25,344. That would be the normal reaction. But I know that we tend to trade intraday, and that sometimes we also have a reaction off of a high, so this is why I'm putting this here. So that was the high that got taken. Now I want to see that continuation. So this is more than 1 hour people that we made already. Clean off of this with that entry extra, we get 1.5 right here. Now I do want to see that nice expansion or continuation right here. That would look very beautiful. If not, I'm just gonna otherwise take a half hour off. No, this looks good. So you do as you please. So that would be TP1 right here. I want to be a bit more patient and see how this 5-minute goes. So if you watch the 5 minutes, we should actually not come under this level again. So that would be halfway the orb actually. And now, again, let's be patient, see what happens. So if you do feel more comfortable by taking profit, that's up to you. I'm gonna be patient. I already gave you the nice entry, so you have to do at least something for yourself. How's everybody doing, by the way? Hope everything great for Tuesday. Or is it Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday. So now I'm gonna take a half hour off. So I took a half profit. So Anisha added to the trade. So now, again, let's be patient, see what the market brings. This looks actually pretty bullish. I would be nicely surprised if we today can move out of this sideways range. That would look actually lovely. So my stops are under this last 15 minutes, so I'm under 25,306. Those are my stops right now. So this week is my stop. So that's a bit less than I actually took profit. So if I get stopped, I'd make like 40, 50 bucks or something like that. So this is a risk-free trade. Now I'm just gonna let this do its thing. We will see how high this can go. Perfect. It's funny when I trade, I sometimes hear you say, be patient, and in my head, yeah, I actually hope that somebody would tell me this also when I was young, when I started out. Be patient, let the trade play out. This is why I actually repeat it. This is actually what I hear myself say, so this is why I do it too. It will depend on what open does. So in 6 minutes we have open. Yeah, we do have like a 1 minute for value gap straight in this last 300 level. But we'll see what happens. Nonetheless, it was a good trade. We still have 5 minutes to open, and that would be good if we now started moving further up again. If London decides to join us, we could actually take out previous day high too. That's very close by. It's previous day high, so that would be a nice trade. The only thing that we have is we have actually an extra opportunity if the market decides not to continue. We had a second for value gap just below it that actually didn't get tapped yet. That's the only reason why I actually moved certain things. It's good entry, and actually it was fast this time. Has not happened in a while that we came online and that I had directly a trade. So the reason why I don't put stops at BE because I'd rather get stopped at my stop than actually put it at BE right here. Because then my stop would be at a place that actually didn't make any sense. I gotta take myself a drink. I'll be right back. Good morning, vriendje. Oh, right. So in about 2 minutes we have open. About 50 seconds, I believe, yeah. And now this hourly candle looks totally different, of course. Let's see what open does. How was the stop? So that was today, 7:22. I got stopped at the count of 9. We entered at 8. Well, let's see what this market will bring. Do we get another entry? Because we had actually a second one just below it. So this one is journaled. Or does this market had enough and keeps going? So Anisha got stopped too. I need a quick bathroom break, guys. I'm gonna take a second entry on this one, on that 15-minute gap right here. I'm gonna take that back to the highs. I want to see if this still is valid to move further up. And now I'm going to the bathroom. Stops at the low. I'm still targeting the same high, previous day high. Somehow it minimized. Okay, yeah, thanks. Yeah, I was speaking. I was. Thank you for mentioning it. So everybody understands where I took the second trade. That was actually the question that I asked. So what did we do? We actually came in that first fair value gap. So now that second fair value gap. This is still that move to the upside. We took the high. We had strong push off of it. Now London tends to have a low or a high of a day. So that could be the low part of the day if we continue higher today. If we do not continue up from here, we probably go back to that 4-hour gap just below to take it out one more time. This is just the same entry like the previous one, that 15-minute gap continuing up to the highs. This is exactly the same movement that I've seen. If this stops me out, down 1 hour today. And if this goes to the high, we can actually make at least 2.5 hour. So there's multiple reasons. So we had a 4-hour gap, we had a 1-hour gap, a half hour, and a 15 minutes, so all laying over each other. And we had actually the same one on the top above, so this is why we took both. The first we made, if you took a 1 hour, you took a 1 hour profit. So if you took this trade again, that's actually free trade. Once we start moving away from this area, I'm going to move my stop up and add to the trade then. Because this is a decent stop, not the biggest. But once we could actually move it back up to where the low actually is, this gets a very nice, much interesting trade. But we need some displacement to the upside first. So second trade today. So first one was 0.3. I still need to fill in this one from yesterday. On the challenge, 22.3R at this point. This one is positive too, so this was 2R or more yesterday. I still need to fill in. Yeah, so for that continuation trade, we do need to trade against how the market moves. You just need to know where the market is moving from and to. So it sometimes feels a bit strange jumping in a trade when the market moves in a different direction. But after a while, you get used to it. Here we're tapping a 5-minute right now, so this, if we continue, this should hold no value, this should just push further up. And then we can add on a 5-minute tap. Then we can put our stop at our low and continue up higher. So we do need a 5-minute for value gap now, and then we can move the stop to this low. If it comes back and it taps a fair value gap, we're gonna add to it and make this a 1-hour stop. Well, I'm gonna do that. What you guys gonna do, it's your choice, of course. All the principles that I teach here, I always learned in my bootcamp too. Should be open soon if I get it to work. Die echt elke dag op mee, dus.
Waar heeft hij niet eerste dan?
Hey, dat is wel speciaal zijn. Ik moet altijd naar daar op een heel moment. Straks komt hij wat terug. Dan krijg je opnieuw.
Is het raar dat ik naar de bakker wil gaan?
Goed, dat is de noek.
Ja.
Goed. So the straight looks good to start with. We should continue from here on. So we have created 5-minute gap right here. On that gap, I'm gonna add to it, to the trade.
Hoe doe je dat?
We want to see us move as good, as high as we can. And I'm gonna put my stop right here, if I add to that trade. So that would move our stop significantly higher. And we can make a 5 right there. So we don't need to take it then all the way up. So right here, so that would make a 2 on that high. If we do get that tab, of course. If not, yeah, we're just gonna write this as high as we can. So I'm watching the other chart too, because we just had a 15-minute tap on the other side too. But because we are moving in an up movement, I'd rather take the ones that we go higher. So that was a decent reaction off that high. We took out some internal liquidity, so now back to external liquidity, of course. See you next time, Charles. If we take this trade higher, we're gonna take this to all-time high, of course. We will see how far this one goes, of course. So we made at least some profits already. Now we're back at the same movement of just a half hour ago. So 20 minutes before 10. Let's see how this market continues in the next 20 minutes. So on this edge, I love actually to see the market continue instead of dropping again. Even though we didn't get that tap. I'll be here for another 20 minutes and then I'll let the trade do its thing, of course, like always. out minus 0.3. How can you be out minus 0.3? So I took a half hour right here at the highs. So that's $100 I put at the highs, and my stop was then at $50, so I made 0.25. So I got a $46 stop that I still had left. So this was the first one. We entered right here. Stops were that low. We actually dug it higher. So I closed it at the high for the first TP, and this was 0.5 order that took off. I added again on the second trade, and I put my stop at this wick. This was my stop. No, stop moved up. Oh yeah, no, I moved my stop up, so I moved it up to that 15, next 15 gap. So this trade was out and profit already, and the second one actually made a small, not profit, because we re-entered in this 5-minute trade to the downside, or in 15 minutes in this gap. So I put my stop under that last wick, and it was just at the top that we entered, so this was a very small stop that I got. Oh no, good that you ask. This is how you learn. So the reason why I moved the stop up is if we were trading, so we traded and we broke a high right here, and the expectancy is that we should continue up high. There was no gaps left under here except this one. So if we should move up from here, we should not come back to that low unless we want to take out this low. So this is why I moved it up to here. That was the last 15-minute gap actually. After this was an internal break of structure, this was actually the break of structure from that high. So once we closed here, I was not willing that the market would come lower. If it does, most of the time it takes out the previous low and then goes into the next gap where we're now trading off that long again. And this looks like it's slow movement, not the greatest actually price action at this point. I do want to see the next 10 minutes this move back up and not down. This is now my stop is now at a low already, so I moved it and I'm now up. If I get stopped right here, I get a break even on both trades. And if my TP gets hit, we make at least 1 hour plus. So we will see what happens. Yeah, I still would add. We missed this by a very, very, very small point. I would add at least one or two more contracts. I'm now in. It's a $55 stop right now, so that's not actually. That's a quarter of an hour. So this would take a long time before I make 1 hour. So it's not relevant. So I would just add because I want to make sure if I get to my TP that I do get that 1 hour. Otherwise, I need a 4-to-1 to make 1 hour. So that would take too long. So rather risk it on the next adding than actually have to be patient for the next. This is actually still a place where we could add. Nonetheless, we are having not the easiest candle movement right here, but not a downside movement either, so it's actually stalling right now. And I do look at a bigger time frame, and a bigger time frame we came from that 4 hour, and we should go up. I'm still looking at it from that perspective. This is why I took that trade again. Yeah, I want to get at least my stop to a half hour. So if I do not get profits, I lose a half hour. So that's okay. And then if we create new 15 minutes, we can add to that trade again. But at this point, I don't look at that a risk or anything. I just look at that. If I don't put in like 1 hour per trade, it's no point in trading. Like if this right here should only be like a half hour down when I get to that top. If I leave the trade like this, so that would take too much time. And I like being in a trade, and it's okay for me sitting here and just letting the trade do its thing. Excuse me. But still, it does need to make sense to trade actually. That would be a decent trade, nonetheless, but you have to make a lot of trades then to make actually some profits. And I'm still watching at that 4 hour how it looks. And the hourly too, so always zoom out and look from where do we come. So we came from this down movement, we swept almost everything, and now we had to the upside. We took a high and we got a bit of rejection. What did we do? We retested into an hourly for value gap. So the most logical way is that hourly should continue back to the highs. Not that trading is always logical, but because we enter in a trade when the trade goes against us. So, but we just need to zoom out and look at a bigger picture and see that the market actually was still moving to that direction. Same for that 4 hours. So we came from a huge movement. We just had a retest into a 4 hour for value gap. So I am still trading this movement. Now, this is something you learn in time, Emily. This is not something that you can learn like by a minute. This just goes over practicing, seeing what happens, retesting it, watching your trade journal weekly, going over it, looking at if it goes correctly, yes or no, and then go over it again. Today, not sure, crypto will be going on in a half hour, maybe a bit later. I still have some stuff first to do, so I'll come on when I can to go over crypto. It's sideways at this point, so not much to talk about. We moved up and we moved down like the same movement instantly. So we had a huge push up and we had a huge push back down to that low. So nothing happened yesterday. We just took out some buy side liquidity, came into a fair value gap, and I had a very strong push back off of it. So not much to tell, except that we are at the same place like yesterday. But if we do push up from here back to the highs, that would be a nice entry actually, where we are right now. So we came into a 1 hour for value gap, closed it off. We didn't take the low, so we're still in that. We actually closed every sell side liquidity right on this wick. So if we move up, we should move at least to 2010 again, 110. So that's about 1.5% right here. That move, yeah, 1.5%, maybe 2, if we go to here. And your stop should be then that low. So that would actually, this is actually a nice position to trade off. Yeah, this could be a 4R right here. If you could trade this. So anybody that's in crypto, this is a nice decent trade right here. Bitcoin up 4x, 4R right here. And if you just want to take it to that wicks low on a 1 hour, that would be a 3R right now. So still that's definitely a decent trade this. I'll give it a bit more time and then I'm gonna call today. Just let the trade do its thing then. If I can add, I will add, of course. If I can't, yeah, then I just let the trade ride and see where it heads to. So about a minute and we have the hourly close. So this is the 2 hourly. Let's come open. It's not a bullish or bearish candle actually. This hourly is just like sideways again. I did prefer that it would actually end up higher for that continuation to the upside. So that was the ad. I don't know, will it go this trade? We will see how this ends. If I get my TP, yes or no. I'll probably take 1 hour off this at this high here. If we get to that high, I'll take 1 hour off right here. On that 5-minute high, and then we will see what happens. I wish you all good trading. We had 2 decent trades today. Happy. I'll see you all back in the afternoon, of course, and wish you all a great London trading session. Enjoy.